Hello, welcome pen friends. It's time for me to share what fountain pens and inks I'll be writing with for April for 2024. And I have chosen 8, and they all have broad nibs, except one has a double broad. So you can tell probably what I'll be doing, which is quite a bit of letter writing that I have to catch up on. And well, it's been brisk. There's been letters going out and coming in. So it's not like I'm really far behind, although a little bit. So that's what I'll be doing. But so I'll show you the pens, and then we'll go into the ink journal, and I'll show you, we'll write with each one, and we'll look at the ink tiles. I've got those for each one. And I'm kind of excited because there's a couple of inks here that are either new to me or I haven't written with, and then there's a couple of, there's 2 that are old favorites. But other than that, there's some that are going to be kind of exciting, you know, this month for me. So, okay, so I've got 3 TWSBI Go's. The first one is the sapphire color, and it has a broad nib. And then the next one is the smoke color, and this I put a broad nib from one of my ecos that wasn't really broad enough, but it's still a little bit broader than a medium, so that'll be nice. And then this is the clear TWSBI Go with a really super nice broad nib that came on it, so that's cool. And then this one is the TWSBI Diamond 580 and Iris with a nice juicy broad nib on it. And then I can't not ink up my Benu Talisman Mandrake. I love it, and it's got a nice juicy broad nib on it, so there's that one. And I was in my pen cases looking to see what hadn't got any love for a while, and this is the Opus 88 Halo with a broad nib on it, and it has the purple on the section. And I love this pen. I was thinking, why haven't I had it inked up more? Because, yeah, oh, I've got that. Well, that's okay. I've got the little opener. Yeah, I can't think of the name. The valve that lets the ink, I've got it wide open ready to write with, so that's good as long as I take care of it when I put it in the pen case. I don't want any accidents. And then this is the Kaweco Sport in Mellow Blue with a double broad, and I just really kind of need this pen inked up all the time. It's my favorite of my Kaweco pens, and I can't tell you exactly why, because I have another one. I have 2 others with double broads, but there's just something about this one. Maybe because one of those is aluminum and one is brass, and this isn't heavy, so it could be that. But I was really questioning myself, like, really? You're going to pass up the ones you haven't written with in a while and go, and I know I've had this one inked up, but that's okay. I've had enough stress here lately. I want to choose just exactly what I want to write with and not give myself any hard time. So, okay, and then last but not least is the Jinhua X750 in the well, silver, and it has, okay, I lied. It's not a broad nib, but it is sort of, because it is a 0.8 Nemesine nib, so it's a little bit of a rounded stub. It's super nice nib, and it's got a wicked ink in it, so we'll look at that in just a minute. So I think what I'll do, I'll turn, you know, get the set ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, so first up is the TWSBI Go in Sapphire with a broad nib with the Colorverse 2024 Blue Dragon Standard. And it's got a ton of red sheen. And I wanted to write with this one first because there are 4 in the little set, and the others have shimmer. And I did choose one other later on in the lineup, but I really wanted to get to know the base color on this first. And so I guess concurrently I will also be exploring one of the other ones. Well, you'll see that coming up. Like, it's like pen number 7 though. So anyway, you'll see that. So because I think this is just gorgeous, and I have a feeling it's going to flow really well too. So here it is. Oh, I can't see very well. I'm having lighting issues, but I'm going to do the best I can. Gosh, I was hoping I could fix that with this, but I guess we're just going to have some shadows and stuff. It's the time of day, and I couldn't film during the week because I was having too many actual business calls coming through on my cell phone, which really threw me off. But this is TWSBI, whoops. Go. I think it's my error, the way I'm holding it, or was holding it there. So let me fix that. TWSBI Go with a broad nib, and it's the Sapphire, I think. Okay, and Colorverse 2024 Blue Dragon. It's a beautiful teal, and it's got all kinds of red sheen. This is the standard. I'm going to put that so I don't forget. Standard. And we'll see if we can do a little... Oh yeah, that's a nice wet ink. It's gorgeous. Let's see. I don't know if I can show that or not. I can't. Sometimes later then when I preview it, I'll say, oh yeah, I can see the shiny ink. But it's... I'm having issues with which glasses to wear and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so next up, this is going to sound like a broken record. Here's the TWSBI Go with a broad nib and the smoke version. And I'm writing with a sample of Platinum Sugar Plum, which I found when I went in looking for, I was looking to see if I had Aurora Purple, and I did. But I found this when I went in looking for the Aurora Purple, and I thought, wow, why haven't I written with that in a long time? Or, you know, like I forgot about the sample, and it's really nice. So I'm going to try that. In fact, I think by the time I get done this month, that sample will be cleaned out. And I don't remember anything about this ink, so when I do my individual ink journal, you know, the entry on it, I'll be looking up. I don't remember whether it's a standard ink or, you know, anything about it, really. Sugar Plum. In fact, I remember that name from something the ink journal did, but... yeah, it's clearly labeled Sugar Plum. So I'm going to have fun looking into that and reminding myself, because I've had this sample for a long time. Shame on me. Okay, so TWSBI Go with a broad nib and the smoke pen body there. Platinum Sugar Plum. I saw that color, that rich purple, and just the gorgeousness of it, and I thought, wow, that is neat. Couldn't pass that up. Okay, so there's that one. Then next up is, don't ask me why I picked this for April, but it's Diamine Oxblood, and I did put it in the TWSBI Go Clear with a broad nib, and this has, I think, a real juicy broad, so I'm wondering if it was, I don't know, we'll see, whether it's going to flow too much or whether I'm going to end up liking it. I'll bet what's going to happen is on certain papers, I'm probably really going to love it because it's very flowy. I could probably get away with a medium nib with this ink and not be fussing about having enough smoothness or flow. But I'm not really sorry I put it in here. It'll be a good experiment. So TWSBI Go Broad Clear with Diamine Oxblood, and I really love this ink. I used to hate it because of the name. Whoops. Oh, I thought I'd made one too many O's, but nope, I didn't. Okay, nice and flowy and very, well, the camera brightens it up. It's just a gorgeous ink, a very nice color. And it, you know, it doesn't necessarily belong in such a modern pen. I know, and I know I have friends out there, fellow YouTubers that might say, what are you doing? Because I do have some more, you know, maybe appropriate pens for it, but I set my heels in on having all these broad TWSBI nibs this month, I guess. Okay, so next up, I put Pilot Ama-Iro in the TWSBI Diamond 580 Iris, which I really like to have inked up all the time too. That's what happens though when you get a larger collection and you realize, oh, I'm not getting, I want to use that pen every month, you know. And so then there's just not very many experiments this month. As far as pens, these are all ones that are just old favorites. So TWSBI Diamond, oh, this is so smooth, 580 Iris with a broad nib with Pilot Hiroshizuku Ama-Iro. Ama-Iro, or I'm not sure how to say it, but it's just a gorgeous ink. Nice and flowy, and it's bright and cheery. Just, wow. And what I honestly, I don't remember where I got it. It's a little bottle that was up on my ink. It was right in front of me, and when I saw the color of the little strip, I went to check my my little tile to see, you know, what color it was, and I thought, gee, I don't remember purchasing that. It doesn't surprise me, though, because last year I was spendy, and this year I am just not buying anything, and so everything kind of stands out like, wow, there's all these riches here. But okay, so, okay, next up is one of my favorite pens, the Benu Talisman with a broad nib in the Mandrake, and I don't know whether this was a good choice. I love the ink and I love the pen. I can't really remember if I've ever had this in this pen or not, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a nice juicy combination. We'll find out, though. Over the course of the next couple weeks, we will find out. And because it's such a nice broad nib, I think it'll be okay. I don't know why I'm hesitating about it. Sailor inks usually do flow really well, and it wasn't the bottom of the ink bottle or anything, so we'll see what happens. Benu. Oops, I gotta hold this right. Talisman. Mandrake. Well, that's flowing really well. Broad with Sailor. Manyo. Akebi. This, if I could be a color, I think. Well, if I was a color, I'd be gray. But my, like, aspire to color would be this. It's pink and magenta, kind of just gorgeous. Oh, I could just stare at the tile. So I know that's going to make me happy. And it does seem to be flowing really well. Let's see if is it still drying now, or I don't know. When I do that, I risk making us all seasick, so I guess I better not do that. Okay, so next up is the Opus 88 Halo in purple. It's the Lenon Toolbar collaboration pen, and this is the Robert Oster Sydney 2018 Lavender. And again, I was in that purple tub, and I just couldn't get out without pulling this one out. I saw the top of the sample, I think, and I thought, ooh, and then I remembered the name, and I remembered that I wanted to try it again. You know, I knew that I liked it, so here goes. And several of these, I think I might have purchased the Aurora Purple, but the Platinum Sugar Plum, the Sydney Lavender, and of course the Colorverse. All of those were gifts, you know, over the years, samples that have been sent to me, and I need to match them up with their little coloring index to remember who sent them, except that I'm pretty sure that might have been Karen because of the way the things are labeled, but I don't want to be quoted because I might be wrong. Okay, so Opus 88, Halo, purple. Gosh, that is really smooth. Broad, and then we've got Robert Oster, a Sydney 2020, oh wait, 2018. Where's my water brush? Yeah, then I'll just make a big mess. Lavender. I actually like making a big mess that way, though. I do. I can't hardly resist it, so let's see. I usually just, that's how I make corrections, and that's also how I find out what the ink ends up looking like when the water brush hits it. And that may take a while to, I'm not sure how that, okay, it says Robert Oster, Sydney, 2018 Lavender. It must have been for a show, a pen show, I'm pretty sure. But again, I've got to re-research all of these that I haven't really written with or looked at for a while. Okay, next up, I decided to try another of the 4 Colorverse 2024 Blue Dragon inks. This will be the Silver Glistening, and it's gorgeous. And I've got a really good feeling about it in this pen too, so let's see how it how it lives up to the feeling that I had about it. Ooh, you can see the the shimmery. Now, I'm sure, technically speaking, I'm supposed to agitate that, but gee, I've had pretty good luck with this Colorverse ink, so let's see how it, now that'll have to dry a little before we can actually see it, but as you can see, when it dries, it is very generous with the glistening, with the shimmer. So, okay, so this is the Kaweco Sport Mellow Blue. This is the Willie Memorial pen with a double broad, and 2024, well, okay, it should have been Colorverse first. Colorverse, Blue Dragon. I'm writing too big to even get everything in. Silver Glistening. Okay, I might have room for my little smear there, yep. Whoops, that's a nice wet ink. My fingers are nice and inky. Okay, I'm really excited about that, and I'm sure I'll have to like fill it up 3 times, and the little converter in there is really small. I made a mess. I had to go ahead and I had to transfer out of the little, they come in the little bottles, which are so cute, but I don't like the bottles for practical use. I just like them for, they're gorgeous. They're so cute. They're these little 15 ml bottles. Well, I transferred, I've got 2 of them already transferred into some little bottles I got cheap on Amazon a couple years ago, or maybe over a year ago. And I can get a pens in to fill them, and I can't get anything into these hardly. So, you know, an ink syringe, yes, but so I was frustrated with that. But not, you know, I knew because I have several of those, and they're a nice size. They come with they usually come with your larger bottle, you know, which I've only bought 2. Gravity Wave and Supernatural. So, and over the years, people have gifted me some of the little ones. Even Van Ness used to send them sometimes as part of my order. So, okay. Did I even finish what I was doing? Yeah, well, that's going to dry, and once it does, yeah, okay, you could start to see on the scribble that it's very generous about leaving a shimmer, and I'm always very favored. I favor the shimmer inks that do that, because I don't really want to go to all the effort with a shimmer ink unless it shows quite well in my writing. Otherwise, it just doesn't seem worth it. I'm kind of like, I want to have the bells and whistles, I guess. Okay, so last but not least is the Jinhua X750 in the silver pen body with a Nemesine 0.8 stub, which is one of my favorites. One of my favorite, you know, separate nibs, especially if anything that deviates from a broad nib. And I love this because it has that nice thin, you know, horizontal, and then you get a nice thick vertical line. So it's just nice. So Jinhua. And I think it might have been Tom from Ink Journal that was writing with this Aurora Purple, or maybe I just dreamed, you know, made that up in my head. But I think that's the color on one of his recent Guess the Ink contests, but I'm not sure. X750, 0.8, Nemesine. Okay, and then it's Aurora, and that's a sample that I believe is going to be gone soon. Well, there's a little bit. There's a mil left. That's good. And that was from Van Ness Pen Shop. Okay. Purple. Oh my gosh, it's so flowy and purpley, and I love it. Oh look, if we look up above, we can now see what I mean about how hooked I am on using a water brush, because can you see that where I made the mistake? It brings out the color. It brings out the chromatography whenever I'm using the water brush in my notes and things like that. And I use it in Tomoe River paper journals and also the CVS Caliber. So I just love that because it adds a dimension to the ink without, you know, with just a quick little fun thing there. Okay, so I'm going to switch the shot here, and then also we'll go switch it again in a minute. There, I thought we'd just look at the palette real quick, and I'm not sure it makes any sense at all. It was just what I most wanted to write with. Both pens, which that doesn't surprise me. That's a bunch of broad nib pens that are no fail, and I know they're going to write great, and plus the stub on the end there. But the ink, of course, I really wanted to try get started on trying the Colorverse Blue Dragon inks, which was just such a shocking contribution by a person who wants to remain anonymous to the channel. And so it's each of the 4 is in a little 15 ml bottle, and just really fun to explore. I don't have my regular pen. My pen that I label these with ran out of ink, and I need to get a new well, I just need to find something else for a ballpoint that I'm happy with, I guess, in the house, because I'm not buying right now. But I need to make some tiles to send over to Matt, so I wasn't happy because I got fingerprints all over this one. So anyway, that's I'm going to make some more and be real, real careful. I guess I need to wear gloves. So there's those 2, and then this one I really wanted to try. And I had a vague memory of maybe trying it in the past, but I don't believe I reviewed it or anything. If I did, I'll surprise myself if I find it. But it just is gorgeous. It's right up my alley. And then, every month it seems like I'm after a color like this, where it's purple, but it has that beautiful, okay, so last month there was one too. It was the Birmingham Violet Sea Snail, which I think I've gone and I have filed them all. Yesterday I sat on the couch filing, like dozens of tiles, but it was this one. So I just got done writing with a color like that, but it was so much fun. And when I saw how the chromatography was on this one, I just couldn't resist. I thought, oh, we'll see how that one is. It's probably not one that I can get, because that was a special, but it doesn't matter. It gives me a little bit of a comparison, and I can go back into the ink journal and see how it compares with that Birmingham ink, which might be useful for us to know about. And then Sailor Akebi, that's one of my old favorites, and so is Diamine Oxblood is a new favorite, one that I've had around in sample form, and then I realized how much I liked it. And then a nice bright blue, just because you got to have one of those if you're me. And what else? And the Sugar Plum. So that one just surprised me. I just got done doing all those, the Lamy Dark Lilac, both years, 2016 and 2024. And plus I was working with Diamine Pansy, and I had all kinds of the tiles pulled out, but I decided to try that one. So I think it'll be exciting. It'll be fun to have 8 new pens with different ink to write with for my letter writing, because I do get bored when it comes to letter writing. I don't get as bored with the colors when it's in my process journaling and my note taking and stuff where I'm real messy and everything like that. But for letters, I'm thinking, because approximately once a month I write to my pen pals, so I'm replying, and I guess you could say that's just about, so it's time for a new wave of color. So there's this, and I think I will switch the camera around. I had just a couple little other topics just to ramble about for a few minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. I just realized that my shirt matches the little Kaweco Mellow Blue and the pen. Isn't that cool? I'm actually, this is a new to me shirt that my friend gave me, that there was a bunch of them they were clearing out at work. So awesome, really awesome. It's lightweight and all that, and the hot weather is starting to come in. So as I look at this, I've got them all on a little, this is, for April. In fact, I think when I did my thumbnail, I put March, so that's maybe where my mind is, like I missed the whole month or something. I'll have to redo it. I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering which ink is going to be my favorite. And it's impressive. I don't know if I can show how that, it's really hard to do because I've got this side lighting and stuff. But that Colorverse that one. The 2024 Blue Dragon Silver Glistening is really impressive. And in that double broad Kaweco nib, I think it's going to lay down the ink like crazy for my, pen pal letters. So we'll see how that goes. So that was my first topic, that, is that I do have a lot of letters to write, which is a blessing and a good, fun project that I can keep, working, trying to, not just trying to keep up, but it's been going really well lately, I think. Except I did find one letter that was jammed toward the back that I believe I missed. And if I didn't, then I'll be replying twice to the same letter, and I'll probably realize as I'm writing it, because that's when my mind will jog. So I don't like to see myself slip in that organization, but it happens, because I do keep on this little cardboard, well, I'm not going to turn it around. I keep the names, I keep a list as well as having them in a little, like a tin where I put the letters in. Anyway, I don't like to slip like that, but we'll, either they'll get 2 letters, or I've moved that letter up to the top because it doesn't look like I replied yet. Okay, and then I wrote down really messy, lots of journaling and studying. Yeah, I've been journaling a lot lately because I don't know if there's actually more stress or if it's just my response to things has been a little over the top, maybe. I mean, I think it's been a little of both. So I have been journaling quite a bit. Like, it's not 1 or 2 pages that will do it. I usually check in the morning to journal, and then I'm back in the journal again toward the evening kind of. It's interesting sometimes to see the difference, like how my mindset was in the beginning of the day, and then how things sort of wrapped up for the day. And some days are much simpler than others. But as I was saying, I was getting so many calls last week that I didn't feel like I could film during the best lighting times because I could miss the call, or what would happen, even if I have it on mute and do not disturb, I'll see the call coming in, but I don't have any way of resuming recording on the same, a video segment. So it would mess it all up. It would just be better to be able to catch the calls during business hours. And I still have a little bit of lighting at 4 o'clock here right now because of the time change. And I know that they close, like the places that are needing to call me to get any help with Mom's situation, the office part closes early, and the home phone, Manuel catches that. So, but everything coming in on my cell phone has really messed me up. So, oh gee, I just saw something come in, which is weird, but it's not a call. It was just. Even though you have do not disturb, these phones just have so many different things. Oh, okay, here's a happy update. I wanted to mention for those that had wondered and asked me some more about how Toby was doing. So on February 26th, he got his neutering, and he has done so beautifully. I mean, I can trust him in the entire house now. He's not marking. Just twice, I've caught him. And, we don't scold for that. It's something that it's a natural thing. If they get stressed, or if they're trying to, feel that the home is theirs. But it's been the front door, it's like a metal, like if I open the main door, and I can see why he would do that, because the smell of any cat that comes along outside and marks is there, and he can smell that if he's inside. And so, I have the stuff, the enzyme cleaner, and I just clean it up real good and try to clean the other side too. Other than that, when he's outside, he's marking probably naturally, but inside he's got his own bed spaces, and he feels really comfortable, and it's just been such a relief that he's not doing that anymore. But he's settled into the household too, and he's spending less time outside. I wanted to address that part of it too, because I used to be a person who, there is no way I'd have a cat that I had outside. But since I started taking on harder cases, starting with Willie and Princess, I had to realize that my expectations and what I want, is it has to kind of be adjusted. When you're talking about a community cat that does not otherwise have anybody taking him to the vet or getting him shots, or, you know, and I can want them to be inside all the time, and I can work toward that, and it often works out, but it sometimes takes a long time to get there. And it's but now that he has been neutered, he's staying real close to home when he does go out, and I've observed him, and I've seen that he's just, you know, he's ready. He's usually in the utility room, under the truck, or in the backyard, which is so nice, you know, compared to before where, I mean, he was everywhere. And so it's been over a month now, and he's doing beautifully, and he just comes and he reads, you know, well, I say he reads with me. He falls asleep right beside me. And Willie used to do that. So I keep calling him Willie. I keep making the mistake, you know, and of course he's Toby, but it just is amazing the personality that comes through, that he reminds me so much of Willie, which we lost Willie in 2022. And I just, you know, I wasn't sure I was ever going to, you know, to get involved with another cat. But when he came and he needed us, there just was no way that I could not do something, you know, whatever I could bring myself to do. And it just does appear like he wants to be part of our family, and he's doing really well. And Coco is adjusting too. Every once in a while, Coco just goes ballistic and starts chasing. And he's done that with Princess sometimes too, but she sets him back right away. She doesn't let him get away with that. And Toby's much more submissive, so I have to be on my toes, but they're playing. I've got the laser going and a toy with a mouse at the same time, you know, sometimes to get them nice and being able to play without using each other as the mouse, you know, and that kind of thing. Anyway, that was a ramble, but so far, so good. Hook on wood, he's doing really good. And the others are doing... Princess is really getting used to him now. I'm really pleased with that, because at first I was afraid that was going to knock her off. Her, you know, security or her good feeling. I was afraid it might make her feel insecure, but she's been doing really well now. She's gone from, she wouldn't even come in the same door as him or walk past him or anything. She's come so far, it's not even funny. They lay down, you know, close together, not touching, not, you know, it's not lovey-dovey yet, but there definitely is no problem between the two of them either, so that's really good. Oh, and I was going to just mention, I wrote down health as a topic. Well, it's been just a few more days now. It'll be a whole year off caffeine for me, which I'm really, really pleased with that. And it's a really good thing, because my sleep has been disrupted enough by cats and worries and stress and everything. So I can't imagine where I would be right now if I hadn't gone ahead and done that, you know, eliminated it. And I still enjoy that Kicking Horse decaf, which has got almost no caffeine. It's done with the Swiss process, the Swiss water decaffeinating process, and I like it. At least it's been something where I didn't have to completely be without coffee. When I want a cup of coffee, I can have it. And then the other thing I wrote down was weight, stress, etc. Yeah. So I put on some weight. So I'm really, really wanting to work on that next. As like I've got the caffeine thing really solid, and I can see that stress eating or whatever, that kind of coping coming in, and I don't like it, and so that's something that I'm really working on right now. And I'm looking, not that I ever start anything like on the 1st of the month, because I say start immediately. When you want to make a change, just start making the change as best you can. But I have been sort of having my eye on April as being a good reset, and I've been working myself up to a deeper level of commitment in it. Let's put it that way. And I think that's pretty much all, you know, I have. I'm not going to lie, I have been struggling with mood lately, and it's affected everything. And then there's been other little factors too, because I've got these projects that I want to work on and videos that I want to do. And it's not just the incoming calls that have stopped me. There's been a real, I guess, a need to step back and try to try to read, try to be calm, try to get my nervous system to settle down. And, you know, I don't want to say a lot about Mom's situation because it goes up and down. But, you know, I really appreciate all the prayers, and things are right now, this moment, are as good as they can be, and which is just really, really good. So I think some of my nerves is just like the what ifs, and that's crazy because anything can happen, you know. And so we don't want to be living that way where, you know, faith goes out the door and just general belief in good things happening goes out the door. I don't want to live like that. So I don't like those what ifs, and it isn't where I want to be. Anyway, that was a real ramble. And I'm excited about it. Never fails, no matter whether I think, oh, you know, what am I going to write with? What am I going to do? As soon as I just get myself to my pen desk and start looking at color, it never fails. It always lifts me and gives me something to look forward to. I do have a few pens for I'm thinking maybe 5 that still have some ink to write dry. So I've shifted those over to my secondary pen tray, and those I'll be using in my journal. And I take that all over to the couch when I'm making notes and working. Oh, the 2 subjects are IFS, which is Internal Family Systems, or working with parts, and I can link something on that because that might not be familiar to people. And then the other subject is the Stoicism, that's still in the book Stoicism for Dummies, which I'm finding is very, very good. It probably should have been titled something different because it's very thorough. It's got a lot of history, and it's got just really, really good information in it. It's sort of like a broad overview that you could jump off of that into some of the other various subtopics of Stoicism that I've wanted to study, you know, over the long term. It's not like a quick thing at all. It's a forever type subject for me. So, okay, I think that's the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here and subscribing, liking, watching, whatever. And I love to connect in the comments. I miss that. When I don't make videos, then I miss out on the most, you know, exciting part, which is talking about inks and pens and all that in the comments. So I hope to see you there in the comment section, and let me know what you're excited about writing with, and we'll just take it from there. And hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to make some progress on some of the other projects that I want to do. I don't want to like name them and start promising things because it's just been a intensely busy time for me. The last 3 months have been unreal, actually, just unbelievable. But I'm surviving, so that's a good thing. I will see you on the next one and see you in the comments. Bye for now.